So at 12:42, he tests positive for alcohol, and then at 12:47, he tests negative for alcohol. Am I right?
Okay, hold up. How does someone test positive and then negative for alcohol just 5 minutes apart? Is this a medical miracle or a monitoring mess? Let's break it down.
In this gripping two-day courtroom battle, Judge Fleischer presides over a heated debate involving a SCRAM device, a type of alcohol-detecting ankle monitor that checks sobriety through sweat every 30 minutes. But what happens when the device reports a violation and a lab test says otherwise? Tensions rise as the defense challenges the accuracy of the SCRAM system, while the prosecution...
Now this is where it gets spicy. SCRAM devices are sold as science-backed tech, but even the judge is side-eyeing them. If you're watching, would you trust a device that decides your freedom based on your sweat? Drop your take below.
Prosecution demands answers. Even the judge admits these devices can be unreliable. Is this cutting-edge tech truly effective, or just a faulty piece of evidence in disguise? Watch the drama unfold and decide for yourself. Are SCRAM devices trustworthy? Could they be sending innocent people back to jail? Or is this just a rare case of technical error? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a moment from inside America's courtrooms.
So, Mr. Evans, Mr. Akingpelu has bond violations that he is
drinking, and tampering. However, I have great suspicions about the integrity of these tests, because the last time he was adamant, but we didn't have any proof. This time, they alleged an allegation on the 7th. The 7th was the day.
Let's pause here. Did you catch that? The defense is essentially saying, who drinks while sitting in court? And honestly, it's a fair point. Either Mr. Akingpelu is the boldest man in the county, or this tech is crying wolf.
Day was the first day you had him coming in to test. So he was in court that entire time. He tested that day. However, they said he tampered and had alcohol in his system at 11, but at 1:30, he receives a text that's saying that he passed. So I don't know. We've had a lot of clients in here. I don't know many people who drink while in court on the day of. So I think the record would show that from your test that you had him do on the 7th. So
he didn't show up until after like 12:30 that day.
But he still tested that day.
Regarding that, I did reach out because I did notice that for the violation, he was at 49 getting tested during the time, and I obtained the SCRAM report. I can of course send it over to you as well. I had one of my supervisors look over it again due to the discrepancy there, and it does show multiple tampers themselves, but for the tampers that detected alcohol but not confirmed as consumption, it's very much believed that it could possibly be an environmental factor while he was at 49, either due to hand sanitizer or something of the sort, because they're very low spikes that come back down very quickly. But I don't know.
So all the violations at the time that he was at pretrial?
Yes, so not all of them, just the one that was most recently filed on him for 11/7 is whenever he was at pretrial.
What I'm saying is,
here comes the twist. Multiple identical tamper alerts. One disappears, one reappears, and all roads lead to the same flawed alert system. This is either the worst luck imaginable or a glitchy tech trap. Ever had tech betray you like this?
the exact same wording in violation on 11-7. He's at pretrial is the exact one that he got that brought us into this situation that made him have to test so much. So if we cannot trust the one that happened on 11-7,
the other violations,
how can we trust that violation?
I only saw one submitted for that one. Is there more that we haven't addressed?
I don't know. I mean, I thought there
so
were.
We had a previous one. I believe it was for his GPS. Let me check.
It was another one. So it was another one in October. Said he tampered, tested for alcohol, then he disappeared. You remember I said I don't understand how that happens. So then he gets the exact same one, and luckily he was at San Jacinto. Tampering, it disappears. So if that one is bad, I believe the previous one was bad. Now he did come in late 7 minutes. That was his only other violation. And we understand that it's bad. But in regards to these two tamperings, if we cannot trust the 11-7 one, I don't think we can trust the other one. And for that
And it
reason,
says here, a tamper event occurred on 10/29/24 at 2:25 p.m. Alcohol was detected. They couldn't confirm because of the nature of the tamper, right?
right.
So the one thing with that one, however, is I also obtained the SCRAM report, and I believe I sent that one over to you. I'll double check. If not, I'll send it over again. And that one showed like a high level spike with a dissipation. And the discrepancy with the one on 11.7 is that it's a very short bump that comes down very quickly. The other one showed more accuracy of alcohol that wasn't deemed to be a possible environmental factor, or the
So you're saying the 10/29 could have been environmental then?
I believe so. I don't
And he tested, and that's the day that he blew earlier that day. Or he did something earlier that day in regards to testing. I'm just,
Well, we don't have evidence of that.
what I'm
Like
saying,
if you do, I mean, if
I think they checked it that day. I think it was something he had to do for the other case. But what I'm saying in regards to all these, if we were in court, the integrity of these machines are in question. I don't know if he has a malfunctioning one, but I don't see how we can rely on this SCRAM device if it is saying that almost the exact same thing. She's saying the levels are a little higher or lower. It dissipated. However, I was told that alcohol stays in your system for a period of time and levels off.
This is prime courtroom drama. Devices meant to detect truth are now the biggest source of confusion. Can a breathalyzer equivalent strapped to your ankle really stand up in court? And more importantly, should it?
So I don't know how it can dissipate within seconds, even if it went higher or lower. And if it was higher on that day,
so if you have something in environmental, like let's say he puts sanitizer on his hands and it drips to the leg, right?
Mhm.
The spike would be just thousands. It would be just astronomical. So we know that there's no possible way it could be alcohol. But when they're small, then it's more the reality that it could be alcohol. But the problem is that the device is supposed to stay on the legs to confirm. And when you have a tamper as such that you can't confirm, therein lies the problem. Because we have, I mean, I understand what you're saying about the integrity of the machine, but if every single time we have someone that's tampering with it so that we can't get an accurate result, there's a problem. And I can't believe that every single one of those times, there's not a true tamper, because it can't just continue to happen and we can't get a true and accurate reading because of something that's, forbidding it from happening.
And sometimes it can be the shoes. Like I talked very thoroughly with my supervisor today about it, just because I was confused of the matter as well. And like if you're wearing boots, it can also affect that. But the thing is, they're very thoroughly instructed, and he reports to pretrial very often, so he should be aware of all of the things that he's not allowed to do in order to tamper with it. Because even this most recent tamper where the alcohol was alleged there, that may have been an environmental factor, but it is a definite confirmed tamper. So even if it wasn't intentional, it's still showing a tamper. So I don't know if he maybe had his pants tucked in under the device, but I mean, that's why he keeps getting the PPRs.
Something is preventing the machine from doing what it's supposed to do. Mr. Evans?
If he wants to report to pretrial and have it checked out, maybe to what's today, Wednesday, tomorrow, whenever he does his drug test, I can make him an appointment for that. But that's,
But my position is this: we're here to try to make sure he's not drinking, and I understand that's very important. I agree with, and I know how the judge feels about drinking and driving. However, the day that he's in court testing, you had him do a urine test that same exact day, and they're saying alcohol on that day was a small spike.
This is the kind of ending you see in a thriller. Full reports, timelines, and another day in court. But here's your question. With so much riding on one device, is it justice or just guesswork? Let us know in the comments.
However, the alcohol on the 29th was a larger spike, and each one dissipated quickly, which means the only way you can know it dissipated is you would have to be able to test afterwards. I'm just saying, other than in a civil court or criminal court, the integrity of this machine would be in question. And now
Let's do this. He's due back for a test tomorrow, right?
Yes, Judge.
So let's do this. Let's regroup tomorrow. Can you get me a full report of every single test that he's done?
Yes, Judge.
Every single number that you've been able to actually capture, okay? Every single tamper that you have, and I want a complete list of every single event that's happened.
Yes, Judge.
And then we'll get a copy to Mr. Evans, and then we'll talk to Mr. Akingpelu about it tomorrow.
Yes, Judge.
You know? How about that? Because I don't have any paperwork in front of me, so I know how many events there have been, and that's really the only way that we should be even going forward, is to get a full and complete picture.
And that's what I was asking for an email.
So, let's do that. And then he's supposed to be here tomorrow. So if you can just advise him to come earlier than 12:30, that would really help everyone. You know?
Okay. I will do
that. And
that.
then we'll regroup tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's plan maybe like 11 o'clock. Is that okay, Mr. Evans?
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do that.
All right. Thank y'all.
Okay. Thanks, bud.